Buckle up, partner, because we're taking a wild ride to the frontier of the digital Wild West. You ever wonder about them little surprises that the software developers sneak into their code like a snake in your boot? Well, grab your hat and let's explore the top 10 software Easter eggs, Cowboy Coder style. Now saddle up with Excel 97 because we're flying. A flight simulator in a spreadsheet? It's like finding a horse in the outhouse. I'll say nay to that. A strange place to keep your trusty steed. Excel 97's flight simulator was just a quirky add-on. It was a fully functional three-dimensional flight simulator hidden within the program. But why include a flight simulator in a spreadsheet application? This hidden flight simulator was developed by Excel's programming team as an internal test for Excel's new graphics engine. Led by developer Bruce Artwick, who also pioneered flight simulator technology, the team decided to keep the simulator as a hidden feature. It was a nod to the fun and adventurous spirit of the programmers and a hidden gem for those who could find it. Accessing the flight simulator is a journey into itself. Here's how to unlock it. Open up Excel 97. Open a new blank workbook. Press F5, then type X97:I97 and hit enter. Press the tab key, hold Control and Shift, then click the Chart Wizard toolbar icon, and we're flying. How about them About Page surprises? Ever looked inside a software's About Page and found a hootenanny happening? It's like opening a barn door and finding a square dance. Grab your partner. Yeehaw! Now gather around the old campfire and let old Cowboy Coder spin you a tale about the most unexpected critter found hiding in the vast deserts of the World Wide Web. That's right, I'm talking about none other than Chrome's very own Dino. You see, out there in these wild territories on the internet, sometimes a cowboy or a cowgirl might find themselves in a bit of a connectivity conundrum. That's fancy talk for when y'all ain't got no internet. And just when you think you're stranded out in a digital desert, up pops this little dino feller, looking as lost as a jackrabbit in a rattlesnake den. That dino must be feeling as riled up as me when someone chooses tabs over spaces, partner. Now here's the fun part. That dino ain't just there for show. Chrome's devs, those sneaky digital wranglers, slipped in this Easter egg to make sure that even when the internet goes down, the fun don't have to. So next time you find yourself without a connection, remember there's a little old adventure waiting in the wings, or in this case, waiting in the About page. So settle up, give that dino a run for its money, and remember, every Cowboy Coder loves a good surprise. Now we've all used Google searching for this, looking up that. Just this morning, I was sitting in the outhouse Googling ways to quell my unceasing code rage that always gets triggered whenever someone insists on convoluted object hierarchies when a simpler solution would suffice. Sometimes, if you know just the right words to whisper, Google's like a wild stallion ready to show off its tricks. First up, do a barrel roll. No, I ain't talking about no airplane stunt from the hidden Excel game, or a rodeo move. Punch do a barrel roll into Google and hold on to your hats. Woo-wee! That's a sight to behold, ain't it? Feels like we've gone and drank one too many sarsaparillas at the saloon. But that ain't all. No siree. Google's got more cards up its sleeve. I wouldn't want to be sitting across from it at the card table down at the OK Corral. No siree. You don't need to go adjust your spectacles now. There's nothing wrong with them newfangled things. That there page is leaning more than a cowboy after a long day's ride. A little crooked, a bit askew, just like its namesake. These here tricks are Google's way of tiptoeing around the campfire, giving a wink and a nudge to all us cowfolk. It's a vast internet prairie out there, and sometimes it's the little surprises that make the ride worthwhile. So next time you're rustling up some information, remember, Google's got more up its boots than just answers. Happy searching, and may your queries always lead you to the gold mines of knowledge. Now partners, let me spin you another tale about the good old days of the digital frontier. Before Red Dead Redemption was popularizing the iconic anti-hero archetype of the postmodern cowboy in a changing 21st century paradigm, there was a simple game that took the world by storm. That's right, I'm talking about Snake, that sneaky game where you find yourself maneuvering that pixelated critter around the screen, avoiding walls and gobbling up dots. A game of pure grit and determination, consarn it. Now would you believe that this here game made its way onto YouTube's vast canyons? Yeehaw! Back in the day, while a video was buffering, and buffer they did back in those days, you could press the left arrow key for at least 2 seconds and kickstart a game of Snake right there on your video screen. It was YouTube's way of saying, hold on there, cowboy. We know it's taken a spell, but how about a game to pass the time? For many of folk, it became a delightful diversion. So remember, as you roam the vast prairies of the internet, sometimes the most entertaining gems are hidden right under your nose, or in this case, right under your video. Keep those keys clicking, and may your internet journey be full of surprises. Now, let me tell you a tale of a time when pixels were big and games were simple. A time of Atari. In this era of cowboys and arcades, there was a game that had folks lined up, dropping coins like they were hot potatoes. That game was Breakout. But what if I told you that this relic of the past found a hidden spot in one of the most unexpected places? A place where folks go looking for pictures. Google Images. Here's the magic. Go on Google Images and type Atari Breakout. Faster than you can say yeehaw, these images transform into those classic, colorful bricks. And there you have it, right before your eyes, a blast from the past, waiting for you to unlock those bricks with that trusty old ball. It's more than just nostalgia, it's a tip of the hat, a nod to the pioneers of gaming. It's Google's way of saying, we remember, and here's a little something for y'all who do too. So next time you're wandering the trails of Google Images, remember, there are treasures hidden in those hills. Next up is them hidden gems and error codes. Your machine's acting ornery, and you get a joke. It's like your horse bucking you off and then winking at you. Out here on the code frontier, you'll come across some real doozies, partner. Things that'll make you scratch your head and wonder. Like that one time when Windows, in all its wisdom, decided to throw this gem our way. Keyboard not found. Press F1 to continue. Now how in tarnation am I supposed to press F1 if the darn keyboard ain't found? It's like walking into a saloon and them saying, sorry partner, we're all out of whiskey. Take a sip to make sure. Yep, definitely no whiskey in there. It's these little quirks, these windows, pun intended, into the funnier side of tech that give our digital travel some spice. Well, ain't that a hoot and a holler? It's like when old Billy Joe, the cattle rustler, done got himself a taste of true irony when he tried to steal the sheriff's cows. Found out they was marked with his own brand. Talk about proprietary provenance. Now old Billy Joe is locked up in the very jail he thought he could outsmart. He ain't saying F1, he's hollering F something else. Now where was I? I got more turnaround than a rattlesnake in a Marfa dust storm. I mean, if you can't laugh at your computer telling you to use a keyboard it can't find, well then what can you chuckle at? That old Billy Joe. I guess I'll never have to pay him back for that zip drive I bought off him in 1995. Next up, secret developer credits. Hidden like a bandit's stash. These credits are there for those brave enough to search. Grab your Mac, start digging. Let's take a look at the Atari game Adventure. Back in the day, Atari didn't credit their developers, but one cowboy of the coding world, Warren Robinett, decided to leave his own mark anyways. It's considered one of the very first digital Easter eggs. Now out on the tech frontier, sometimes a coder's gotta blaze his own trail. Way back when video games looked more like doodles than the fancy schmancy graphics we got today, there was this game called Adventure for the Atari. Now this castle in Adventure ain't just any old castle. Oh no, this one's got a secret. You see, Atari, the big honchos they were, didn't give credit to the lone guns who crafted their games. No names, no recognition. But one daring developer, Warren Robinett, wasn't about to let his masterpiece go unsigned. It's like building a saloon and someone secretly carving their name under the bar. Sure, not everyone will see it, but those who do, they're in for a treat. Secret developer credits, Easter eggs, hidden gems, whatever you want to call them, they're a testament to the spirit of the Wild Tech West. A nod to those unsung heroes who wanted to say, I was here and I made something special. Here's to you, Warren, and all the trailblazing coders out there. May your legacy be as enduring as a pixel in the vast digital desert. Alright, partner, time to settle up for a digital legend of when the East met the West. I'm not talking about when that old Thomas Jefferson bought Louisiana. No, sir. I'm talking about the mystical, magical Konami Code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. And no, it's not the way old Jerry Jones was flopping at last week's Amarillo Rodeo. We know half the arena be screaming, hey, at the end of that round. Poor Jerry. But this is one secret that won't paralyze you and financially devastate your family. If only Jerry had invested in medical insurance and not that fancy belt buckle. His daughter wouldn't be serving chimichangas at Taco Bell while her brother is stacking boxes at H-E-B. But speaking of H-E-B, I've been having eternal bewilderment about why I can't stay on topic. The Konami Code was born in the land of the rising sun and first appeared in the game Gradius for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Hashimoto, while testing the game, found it a mite too tough, so he snuck in a cheat code to give himself an edge. Can't blame the fella. Some days you're the bullet, some days you're the duck. He just wanted a day off from being the duck. But here's the kicker, the code didn't just stay in Gradius. Nope, it spread faster than a prairie fire in dry season. Soon gamers all over the world would tap into that secret for extra lives, hidden levels, and all sorts of digital goodies. Now I've lassoed up many a wild bout in my time, but this code, it's like finding a golden horseshoe every time you use it. From Contra to Canadian government websites and even some events in pop culture, the Konami Code became more than just a cheat. It became a legend, a secret handshake for those in the know. Kind of like ordering from the secret menu at the digital saloon. I'll have the Konami special barkeep, so next time you're wandering the digital frontier and things get a mite tough, remember, there's always a way, a secret, a code. Just don't tell old Jerry Jones. Alright, saddle up, because we're heading to the jungles of gaming. This time we're uncovering the elusive Sasquatch. In the grand expanse of the gaming universe, legends are born, myths are forged, and some critters are just darn hard to find. I've tracked down bandits and bugs in my code, but hunting Bigfoot in a video game? Now that's a wild ride. Back in the days when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas roamed the gaming consoles, rumors had it that in the deepest, darkest parts of the San Andreas forest, players might catch a glimpse of the elusive Bigfoot. Of course, like any good legend, proofs were scarce and skeptics plenty. Many a gamer spent hours, days even, exploring every nook and cranny of that forest, hoping to be the one to confirm the tale. Now I've seen some things in my life, glitches that make your head spin, but a Bigfoot in San Andreas felt like finding a needle in a haystack. Turns out the whole thing was a wild goose chase. Developers confirmed there wasn't any Bigfoot in the game, but that didn't stop the tales or the hunt, because sometimes the journey and the legends we spend along the way are more exciting than the destination. The real Easter eggs ain't always about what you find, but the adventures you have and the stories you tell. And maybe, just maybe, that Bigfoot's out there in another patch or DLC. Alright partner, time to circle the wagons, cause we're venturing into the lands of pixels, potions, and dragons. Yes sirree, we're talking about the world of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and the epic tale of the Notched Pickaxe. Now in the vast expanse of gaming, there's a mountain taller than any server stack, named the Throat of the World. And up there, legends say, lies a tool that binds two worlds. Wow, I've mined data and debugged some wicked problems, but never thought I'd be climbing a mountain in search of a pickaxe. This ain't just any pickaxe, it's the Notched Pickaxe. A nod to the legendary creator of Minecraft, Marcus Notch Pearson, placed there by the crafty devs at Bethesda. It's an Easter egg bridge in the realms of Skyrim and Minecraft. Why ain't that something? Two mammoth games of our time connected by this humble tool. Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest impact. And it ain't just for show. That pickaxe can be used for giving players a boost in smithing and doing a fair bit of damage. A tiny tool with the tail taller than the throat of the world itself. Here's to the sneaky devs and their winks across the digital divide. A reminder that in the vast world of coding and gaming, we're all just carving our own little legends. Now as we mosey out of these digital lands filled with the tales and treasures, it's worth remembering that Easter eggs ain't just a modern marvel. Old Aesop has his own way of hiding treasures in his tales. Y'all might have heard a tune I once crooned about, A Boy and His Medal. It was my tribute to Aesop's fable. Just like those fables of old, every story had a hidden nugget, a moral, something extra to ponder on. They weren't just stories, they were lessons wrapped in tales. Much like an Easter egg in a game or software. A little extra for those who venture deeper, seeking more than just the surface. It's a nod, a wink, a gift from the storyteller to the keen-eyed traveler. So as we ride off into the digital sunset, always keep an eye out for those hidden gems. Be it in lines of code, pixels on a screen, or words in an age-old fable. Because sometimes the real treasure is the journey, the stories we share, and the Easter eggs we discover along the way. Remember, whenever you're creating something special, grab it with all your might. And if that means putting a hidden flight simulator in a spreadsheet app or a pickaxe in a mountain, always do your best to inspire the imagination of your fellow storytellers. Now, if you're so inclined, sit back and enjoy A Boy and His Medal.
Hi kids, this is Cowboy Coder. This is my version of my favorite Aesop's fable. Reading is awesome. Never give up on your dreams. I was walking in the woods just the other day. I looked down and I had to say, spike on this flower looked mighty fierce. If I'm not careful, its shoulder pierce. I bent down, wrapped my hands, started to pull on all the strands. Nettles came out and pierced the skin. Felt like punishment for a sin. I ran away to get some shelter. My mind started drifting and began to welter. Just then I heard from afar someone stepping from a mason jar. I looked up and it was my ma. She grinned at me and said, "Let me see your paw." She took my hand as it began to bleed. She sighed and she said these words to me: "Son, you must know this now. Next time you come around, always be ready with all your might. Always be ready with all your might. Son, you must know this now. Next time you come around, always be ready with all your might. Always be ready with all your might." Many years had come and passed. Life really comes at you fast. Train really hard and keep the pace, knowing one day I'll win the race. I keep on creeping from day to day, knowing each step along the way. I dig deep during times of trouble, brushing aside any sort of rubble. The big day had finally come. The gun went off and I started to run. I kept pushing through thick and thin, driving hard, I finally got the win. Yes. The ceremony began at the top of the hour. The prize I was given was a nettle flower. I stepped back to give it a gentle squeeze. Then I remembered what my mom said to me: "Son, you must know this now. Next time you come around, always be ready with all your might. Always be ready with all your might. Son, you must know this now. Next time you come around, always be ready with all your might. Always be ready with all your might. Grab it with all your might. Grab it with all your might." The moral of the story here is to basically, whenever you go after something, you always give it everything you've got. Grab it with all your might. Grab it with all your might. So you want to always grab it with all your might, like the song says, and just put everything you can into it.